terrifying army of giant red fire ants marches through the southern forest toward Sijuan's farm. Thousands of burning red ants move together like a living river, and every heavy step shakes the ground. Their sharp mandibles click without stopping as they rush toward the delicious smell of the feast prepared on the farm. Suddenly, the entire swarm comes to a complete stop. The ants twitch nervously as a huge shadow appears in front of them. Powerful black wings spread across the sky with a loud flap. Floating calmly in front of the entire army is the Black Dragon Lord, Kaiser. His golden eyes shine with a cold light as he looks down at the invading insects. Without showing any emotion, Kaiser slowly raises one finger. A tiny blue light appears at its tip. His voice echoes through the silent forest as he quietly commands the ants to vanish. The blue light explodes outward. A wave of blue magic sweeps across the battlefield. In the next instant, the entire army disappears. Not a single ant remains. The endless swarm vanishes as if it has never existed. The forest becomes completely silent. Kaiser slowly lowers his hand and turns around. He wonders what those bugs are. From behind a nearby tree, little Iona carefully peeks out with only her head showing. She explains that they are fire ants swarming from the south. Since so much food is prepared this time, they seem to smell it and gather there. Kaiser quietly thinks for a moment. He looks toward the distant southern forest and wonders if they should do something about it. Iona's eyes sparkle. She happily says that she has an idea and asks if he wants to hear it. Kaiser agrees. Meanwhile, back at Sijuan's farm, not a single person knows that a whole army almost attacks them. Everyone sleeps so deeply that they almost look dead. The giant mushroom becomes the softest bed anyone can imagine. Sijuan lies comfortably on top of it with a peaceful smile. Theo is curled up on Sijuan's lap, sleeping soundly while quietly purring. Little Iona gently climbs onto the mushroom. She slowly crawls over to Theo and uses his fluffy belly as a pillow. After making herself comfortable, she smiles happily. She thinks that since her conversation with the Black Dragon Master goes well, she should take a nap too. She gently kneads Theo's soft fur with both tiny hands. Feeling the soft fur, she happily thinks that Theo's embrace is still the best. With a satisfied smile, Iona slowly closes her eyes. Almost immediately, she enters a dream. A dark world stretches endlessly in every direction. Black mist covers the land. Broken ruins stand beneath a blood-red sky. Countless chains bind several familiar people. Deputy Tower Master Ganova and the other Tower Masters struggle desperately inside the nightmare. The moment they notice Iona, they all shout for her and beg her to let them out. Ganova glares at her with bloodshot eyes and angrily blames her for everything. Iona calmly places her hands behind her back. She gently smiles and says that it is Deputy Tower Master Ganova and the other Tower Masters. Tilting her head, she asks if they are getting any closer to defeating the ancient Demon King. Ganova grits his teeth in frustration. Iona shakes her head and says it is unfortunate, but just as she cannot dream their dreams for them, she also cannot pull them out of the nightmare. Looking around at the endless darkness, she explains that nightmares are meant to be broken by the dreamers themselves. Her expression slowly becomes serious. She says that when she first accepts the nightmare, every single day is painful. Memories begin playing around them. She sees herself trapped inside the nightmare. Endless undead monsters surround her from every direction. Every day she fights. Every day she dies. Every day she grows stronger. Again and again without end. Returning to the present, Iona quietly says that she eventually realizes something. She explains that the only way to escape that place is to become stronger. Raising one finger, she says that because the ancient Demon King does not even allow death and only wants to entertain himself, the dream contains nothing except endless pain. Then she confidently smiles and says that if someone looks at it differently, it also becomes a place where they can train forever. She says she realizes that truth. She proudly places a hand on her chest and explains that, along with earning the title of Mage of Destruction, this is the secret that allows her to become the Black Tower's strongest mage. Looking directly at Ganova, she reminds him that he once says he wants to become the head of the Magic Association. She confidently tells him to become stronger than she is. A terrifying amount of magical power bursts out from her body. She says that if he can do that, she will gladly give him the position. Ganova clenches his fists but cannot say a single word. Back in the real world, Theo slowly opens one sleepy eye. He feels something heavy pressing against his stomach. Still half asleep, he lazily rubs his eyes and wonders what it is. Looking down, he sees Iona sleeping peacefully on top of him. Without waking her, Theo carefully lifts Iona into his arms and gently places her on Sijuan's chest instead. Stretching his body, Theo lets out a huge yawn. He wonders if it is nap time for everyone, but then quickly shakes his head. He reminds himself that the best wandering merchant must always work hard. Filled with new determination, Theo jumps off the giant mushroom and heads toward the Black Tower's wandering merchant headquarters. A little later, inside the wandering merchant headquarters on the 75th floor of the Black Tower, the large building is busy with merchants coming and going. Theo confidently walks through the entrance. A young deer receptionist warmly welcomes him and asks how she can help. Theo proudly places both paws on the counter and says that he comes to receive his promotion to top wandering merchant. The receptionist politely checks her records and asks if he already meets all the qualifications for the promotion. Theo proudly grins and says that he only needs total sales of 3 million tower coins and that he reaches that amount a long time ago. The receptionist gives him an awkward smile. She hesitates before asking if he knows about the great landowner greed incident on the 55th floor. Theo scratches his cheek and realizes that she recognizes him. He proudly confirms it and says that he is the golden cat Theo who greatly helps capture greed. Before he can finish, the receptionist interrupts him. She explains that the rules change because of that incident. Theo freezes in surprise. She says the requirements for becoming a top wandering merchant become much stricter. Taking out a document, she shows him the new requirements. A merchant must have at least 5 million tower coins in capital, employ 5 or more subordinates, secure 3 exclusive products, trade in 10 or more types of products, and have experience reaching at least the 50th floor. She apologetically explains that the standards become much higher and says these are Chairman Mason's direct orders. Theo only looks at the paper for a moment before saying that it is not a big problem. The receptionist blinks in confusion. Theo drops a huge money pouch onto the counter with a loud boom and says that it contains 1 million tower coins. The heavy bag shakes the entire counter. The loud sound quickly attracts everyone's attention. A rhinoceros receptionist named Sir Taru rushes over and asks Shaun what is happening. Shaun quickly explains that the customer wants to become a top wandering merchant. Sir Taru carefully looks at Theo and wonders if he is Sir Theo, the one who personally saves Chairman Mason's son. Theo proudly nods and confirms that he means Jareth. Sir Taru immediately bows respectfully and asks Theo to forgive them, saying they should have promoted him much earlier. Theo shakes his head and says that rules are rules. He says he will honestly prove that he meets every requirement for becoming a top wandering merchant. Sir Taru is filled with admiration and wonders if this is the dignity of a true hero. Beside him, Shaun quietly whispers that Theo is incredibly cool. Inside his heart, Theo secretly laughs and thinks that no one else will become a top wandering merchant after him. Calmly, Theo places several documents onto the counter. He asks them to take their time checking the 5 million tower coins and hands over the contracts for his interns. Looking back at the list of requirements, he says that only the exclusive products and the 10 product categories remain. Proudly puffing out his chest, Theo says that every product he sells is exclusive because no one else anywhere in the tower sells them. One after another, he places cherry tomatoes, sweet corn, sweet potatoes, green onions, peanuts, mushrooms, and many other crops from Sijuan's farm onto the counter. Soon the entire counter overflows with colorful produce. Sir Taru's jaw drops in amazement. He asks where Theo gets all these products. Theo gives him a confident wink and says that answering the question will also satisfy the final requirement. He proudly reveals that all the crops come from the highest floor of the tower, the 99th floor. Sir Taru immediately turns to Shaun and orders him to prepare everything quickly. Shaun immediately obeys. He performs a small enchantment on a shining merchant token. Soft magical light surrounds it. After carefully engraving Theo's name on the back, he respectfully hands it to Sir Taru. Sir Taru presents it with both hands. He says that Theo's name is engraved on it and officially presents him with the token of a top wandering merchant. Theo's eyes shine with happiness. He happily fastens the badge onto his chest. For a brief moment, old memories pass through his mind. He remembers failing in love because he is poor, being cheated by dishonest people, and living with nothing. Then another memory appears. Sijuan reaches out his hand with a warm smile and invites Theo to work with him. Theo smiles brightly. He thinks that it feels like only yesterday that he is poor, heartbroken, and constantly getting tricked by others. Now he finally achieves his dream, and he knows it is all thanks to Chairman Park. Sir Taru warmly congratulates him. Theo suddenly remembers something important. He says that he hears top wandering merchants receive special benefits. Sir Taru confirms that the association provides many exclusive privileges and politely asks if there is any particular service Theo wants. Theo immediately climbs onto the counter and leans forward with sparkling eyes. Excitedly, he says that he wants title deeds and wants to trade title deeds for other floors.